Maserati is finally its own boss, and the first offering not only challenges McLaren and stablemate Ferrari, but also Tesla. Maserati's new MC20 is a fire-breathing mid-engine sports car combining bleeding-edge sports car technology and classic Italian sports car design, powered by an impressive twin turbocharged six-cylinder putting down supercar numbers. But tucked away in the announcement of their first in-house engine in decades is the announcement that triple-motor electric is soon to follow, just in time to take on the Tesla Roadster. The storied and once dominant Maserati badge has had a rough time of it for a few decades, but now Maserati are their own company again, and to prove it, they've taken the wraps off the most dramatic Maserati in decades, the eminently desirable MC20. The MC20, which stands for Maserati Corsa or Maserati Racing 2020, is a sharp departure from the tame-by-comparison Gran Turismo it replaces. The Gran Turismo sported a front-mounted V8 engine and, as the name implies, was built for Grand Touring. The MC20 does away with those niceties. Gone is the even and rumbly V8, and in its place goes the first in-house engine Maserati has built in years. And what an engine it is! Dubbed the Nettuno, it drops two cylinders in favor of a 90-degree V6 being force-fed by twin turbochargers. Two spark plugs work in unison to make the bang that makes the go. During the compression phase 1 of the spark plugs, sparks the mixture in a sort of anti-chamber that forces the mix into the cylinder in a star-shaped pattern and fired again by the second spark. Maserati says this makes for a more efficient burn, and they have a great test bed. It's a similar process to one used on Formula One race cars. All of this is good for 621 horsepower out of the 3-liter engine, or a mind-boggling 207.6 horsepower per liter. That's not the highest output per liter, but it's up there. By comparison, the Bugatti Chiron puts out 185 horsepower per liter from its W16 engine. Power reaches the rear tires through an 8-speed dual-clutch transaxle. All that power pushes a car that weighs in at a slim 3,240 pounds. The slippery body does away with the dramatic fins and giant air ducts, favoring a more reserved and classic styling while still staying slippery and aggressive. This is a Maserati after all. That car will come in both coupe and convertible models. The howling 8,000 RPM mid-mounted engine and lightweight all adds up to an impressive run from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. That's pretty impressive, even if the target price is just under $200,000. The MC20 is the new standard bearer for the Trident brand, but is not a limited edition car. They'll make as many of them as there are people with $200,000 to buy one. This bodes well for those who live on second-hand luxury. Modern Maseratis in general have not had a great time retailing their value. The outgoing Gran Turismo would cost you $150,000 at the dealership, but cruise your local Craigslist and you're likely to find examples around 8 years old going for around $30,000 to $35,000. However, given that this new Maserati is not hampered by the requirement to be a baby Ferrari, they're not likely to drop in value as dramatically, so you might not want to bring out the hammer on your piggy bank just yet. But used examples are likely to still suffer from depreciation. Not to mention, it would be hard to have this car and not use it as intended. But if that 0 to 60 time sounds like it might be short of some other numbers you've heard bandied about, then you're thinking of the world of battery electric vehicles where the electric motor's torque comes on full from beginning to end, sending otherwise staid sedans to the mile-a-minute speeds in astonishingly short periods of time. For instance, the upcoming Tesla Roadster is boasting its sub-2-second hustle to 60. Well, Maserati doesn't want to be left out of the fun, so in 2022, around the same time the Tesla Roadster makes it official, an all-electric Maserati MC20 will join the fray. Like the Tesla, the MC20 BEV will feature 3 motors, 2 in the back and 1 in the front. The electric version promises to be even faster than its gas sibling, but there are few details out now. Maserati is looking for a similar sub-2-second run to 60, but don't seem to be prioritizing top speed in the way the Tesla's proposed 250-mile-an-hour top speed. 48 miles per hour faster than the MC20 that still runs on liquid fossils. The one-to-one comparison between the Tesla and the Maserati ends in the category where Tesla usually leaves their competition in the dust: range. The Maserati is aiming for a European standard 235-mile range, while the Tesla doesn't plan on making any stops to charge until it has run the clock out on the targeted 620 miles. The BEV Maserati is naturally expected to come at a premium over a sub-$200,000 price tag for the V6, while Tesla is aiming for $200,000 for the Roadster. But that's comparing manufacturer wish lists for cars that are 2 years into the future. How does the MC20 compare to some of its contemporaries? Across the halls, under the same umbrella of FCA, is the standard bearer for mid-engine sports cars with Italian styling and some of the best engine notes in all of automobiles, Ferrari. The prancing horse challenges the Trident with the F8 Tributo. The Tributo replaces the 488 GTB this year, featuring a throaty 710 horsepower V8 mounted in the middle like the MC20. Like the MC20, the Ferrari makes its way to 60 from nothing in just a tick or two under 3 seconds. Though if you want the Ferrari badge, you have to pay the Ferrari money. In this case, around $280,000, an $80,000 premium over Maserati. From horses to bulls, the other Italian supercar stalwart Lamborghini offers its own rival, the Huracan, that borrows more than a few bits from its parent company's Audi R8. The big V10 has a similar output to the Maserati's twin-turbo V6, but comes in an all-wheel drive that helps it edge out the MC20 on the run to 60, stopping the clock at 2.5 seconds. Since it shares DNA with parent company Audi, it doesn't have the same finicky nature one has come to expect from Italian exotics. This still comes at a premium, with the all-wheel drive model coming in at $212,000 or $230,000 if you want a roof that will go away. Off the Italian peninsula and on to the British Isles, another competitor that made its name in Formula One stands ready to take the MC20 on, the McLaren 620R. The 620R drops any facade about being gentlemanly on the road, instead going for the race car with license plates formula. The 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 produces 612 horsepower, close to the MC20's V6. This means similar acceleration, with 2.8 seconds between standing still and doing 60 miles per hour and a top speed of 200 miles per hour. Where the McLaren shines, however, is track days. To paraphrase Steve McQueen's Michael Delaney, everything in between is just waiting, or driving an unruly car in slow car conditions. This less-is-more stripped-down nature comes at a premium, where the 620R rings up at $270,000. On the other end of the spectrum lies the perpetual benchmark, the Porsche 911, in this case the Turbo S. Like the Maserati, the Porsche makes use of a twin-turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, the Porsche putting down 640 horsepower. The rear-engine Turbo S comes with all-wheel drive, allowing the $217,000 sports coupe to reach 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds on its way to a top speed of 205 miles per hour. The main difference, however, is Porsche's ability to behave like a car meant to be on public streets instead of a tiger on a chain. Porsche is both wicked fast and comfortably usable. The reliability and consistency comes at a cost, with the Porsche becoming the ubiquitous sports car. This is made worse by Porsche's resistance to change. It's hard for all but the faithful to tell a new 911 and a years-old 911 apart. Despite that, used 911 prices continue to rise, except the unloved 996 models. Ultimately, it comes down to what you want out of your $200,000 sports car, and if you're the kind of person who has $200,000 to spend on a sports car, you're probably used to getting what you want. There are sure to be more than a few that are going to want the Maserati MC20. That's the new Maserati MC20 and how it shakes up against the Tesla Roadster and contemporary supercars. Is this enough for you to break all the piggy banks? Or do you like your power served up in different flavors? Let us know in the comments, and while you're there, be sure to like and subscribe to The Richest for the latest videos. Thanks for watching.